Hey guys, Cosnick Eldurin bringing you another League of Legends related video. This video is going to be about lane pressure and map awareness. Now, the reason I'm throwing the two together is they're both kind of related. To maintain lane pressure, you have to have good map awareness. Both of these are key elements to winning the game in League of Legends. A lot of people struggle with learning how to maintain lane pressure without giving up pressure in like jungle area. Or pulling aggro from junglers as well. And so I found this cool map, and it's, purple base back when it was purple, and blue, and then it just shows, all the different areas. And so it's all relatively the same as the current map, and I just like this one, this configuration of, telling you to the different sections. So to start everything off, again, I love talking about this as if talking about a bot lane, because that's my main, is ADC. So we're going to start this off by, how to maintain pressure in bot lane without, having to pull too much aggro from a jungler. So maintaining pressure in bot lane is key for the ADC currently to be winning the game. If you can contain lane pressure, you have a much better chance of winning the game because you'll force your opponent out of farm. And so the best way to do this is by being able to trade with them. Trading with them consists in, in the contested zone. And all you're trying to do is when you go up to farm, make sure, okay, you're trying to last hit, which gives you some time to, walk around and do nothing. Instead of doing nothing, try to attack the opposing ADC or force him away from his minions if you notice he's not last hitting effectively. So all you then do is make him miss farm, and then you make sure to last hit your minions. You're gaining an advantage here. You're getting a gold advantage. When you go to trade, though, make sure that you can do favorable trades. If they have a sustain support and you don't really have any real sustain against them, if you can't consistently keep them poked down because their support just keeps healing them up, don't worry as much on the actual poking itself. Try to zone them out by forcing yourself forward a bit. This does, generally will attract a jungler. So say you're coming from blue side and you're pushing in and you're roughly about here in the lane. This is going to call their jungler to, want to come down and gank. Always maintain a ward. The fast ward is right here. This is not an amazing ward though, because it only gives you vision if they're coming actually from river, and slightly if they're coming here. If they clip the edge, if they carry here, you almost will not notice them. So a better spot instead of warding here is roughly around this part of dragon. You want to cover the dragon pit itself to know if they're going to dragon. You want to cover this entrance, and it will allow you to know if they're coming down through here as well. So putting it about right here will cover all three of those zones, and it gives you good. And then you do one in tri bush, just in case you don't have a ward over here somewhere. They could come around and do the long way. If you have it in try and you're over here, and you see them start going down this way on try, you can then start trying to retreat into the river itself. Which then you just have to call your mid and your jungle to kind of push over here and help you to escape. Now, these wards help you understand how your pressure is going in the lane. Because if you have no wards, you shouldn't be pushing up to here if you're on blue side. If you're on purple side and you see them pushing up to here, you're not going to do too much. So send your support out early at this point. If, hopefully your support is at this point, has a sweeper. Early on, you're not going to be able to do this, but get that sweeper as soon as possible, because first item should be Sightstone so that you can replace those trinkets to get sweeper. So you come out here and you're going to sweep this area, because a lot of people through bronze through gold are stupid and they don't ward up here. They ward right here in this bush. It's not a bad place because, if they do slip through your ward somewhere else, they're going to probably be hiding in this bush. So, but better warding is to avoid them getting to the bush at all. Because if they're in this bush already and you know they're there now and you're right here, you're going to be trying to back off and you're going to have to burn flash or something. If you have it up here and you catch sight of them as they're up here, you can back off early so that by the time they're here, you should already be back at this corner right over here. And you'll be fine. So, but why you want to send your support around the long way here is to keep them safe, along with they can then start clearing out the vision over here so that it allows your jungler to get into this bush unknown or it forces them, because now they don't have vision, they might fall back, which allows the pressure to ease up and allows your ADC to start picking up some needed CS. And it goes similar way over here. If you don't have, it's not as safe of a route over here to get to over here, because then to get back you have to do this long about here or cut through lane here, which puts you in a lot of pressure here. So on this side it's really hard to get through here. So if you know your jungler's coming down, make sure Try's unwarded. And hopefully at this point your jungler also has a red trinket, and the two of you can move up here and clear vision. And what this does is it's going to force them back, and it's going to force their jungle to come to this side. When that happens, your jungler and your support and your ADC can wait and try to catch out the opposing jungler, or you can send the two of them up over here, because now you don't need anything here. Your ADC just plays, somewhat careful about right here in the middle of the lane. And now that you've controlled vision, if you have vision still, they'll know. Hopefully now that you have the jungle and the support, you can rotate around and put a ward right here for them. So this allows your ADC to move up slightly, and he'll know from which direction if the jungler is coming. And then with your support in your jungle, you move it over here to then give your mid lane, some control and some pressure. And, the reason I don't mention, gaining the pressure in top lane, unless you have a carry top lane like Fiora, there's not a real point to try to contest the top lane as much. Yes, the tanks getting fed is nice, and it helps give you a good front line so that your ADC is protected, but unless you're really trying to win the game through top lane, there's not a big point to go up there. It's kind of a wet noodle fight right now. So you just kind of avoid them. But if you do want to do ganking paths, or if you want to help them out some, a good ways to ward. You ward right here for the same reason. This side of it wants to ward right over here for, covering here, covering here, covering over here. And they're going to want to ward right here, or preferably over here, because it catches them early and gives you time to retreat. But as a last minute ditch, you can put it here. From this side, though, it's a little trickier to put in good wards, because top lane is just kind of weird, I guess. Putting it here gives you enough warning if you're in the middle of the lane to get back. Better way to, control it and figure it out. You can get a ward over here, which is cool. Only problem is they can get through a path up here. If you don't have a ward here, they can get through a path up here. If you have a ward here, they have to take a long route around. There's no perfect way to help really guard from the topside jungle, though. But what you can do to protect from topside jungle is, your best bet is one here and probably one here. And you want to pink either here or here, preferably here, and your mid lane will generally cover this one. If your mid lane's not covering that one with a pink, they're going to be covering right here or so, and it should still give you enough vision because a lot of them cut down over here. So you want this vision just for the same reasons you want vision over here. Now this vision is going to help you control knowing where the jungler is, and something to get good at is knowing how to predict where the jungle path is going. Silver and bronze players are very, very easy to predict their jungle paths, along with gold to an extent, because a lot of people are going to start bot side. If you watch LCS, they don't always start bot side. Most of the time, they don't start where their bot lane is. And that's because they don't need the assistance from their bot. Usually they pair up with their top and they'll jungle around with their top because of the reverse swaps most of the time. But even when they have actual hard lanes, they start usually opposite side of bot because they want to try to, contest a gank on bot side or contest a dragon early. So doing this, if they do a lane swap, whoever has their lane up here is already giving up dragon pressure. But back to, silver and bronze. We're going to talk more about silver and bronze because this is what you need to focus on. Now, these strategies that the LCS use are really good strategies, but they're also a really good team that know how to work together. You don't know how to do that. That's why you're watching this video, and that's why you're in silver or bronze, is you and your team haven't built up a synergy, and you're not LCS material yet. And I say yet, because there's potential that some reason, somehow, one of you are going to, just explode into being good. But, so, once you take these lanes, these towers, or vice versa, you're going to want to get pinks on the inside of the enemy jungle to gain that vision control over them. You want to force them into defensive warding, but you want pinks in here So where they defensive ward at, you could take out those defensive wards, or they go out to take out your pinks, and it catches them out of position, and you can collapse and get kills. This is all to maintain pressure. The whole point of League of Legends is that you have a psychological and a actual manifestation of pressure. If they don't have vision, they're psychologically going to play a lot safer, and usually, now silver and bronze, they could just not play safe, in which and they'll be risky, in which your team could set up some really cool and fun plays. But to just learning how to ward will give you so much more pressure, and it's a lot harder this season. I'm going to admit it's a lot harder to ward because you don't have green wards anymore. So if you're not a support, make sure to buy a pink. If you are a support, make sure to buy a pink. If you're a jungler, right now one of the better things to do is take Tracker's Knife and get whatever item that way. I know the blue slow is really nice, but it's not all that amazing in actuality. And you'll look at LCS, and a lot of them are taking Tracker's Knife, and if they're a dueling jungle, they'll take Red Smite sometimes. But Tracker's Knife is a big one right now. Reason why is that extra couple wards is really useful for your team. And for jungle, it helps you get a couple more wards, and it's pretty nice. And then you'll have a blue trinket from mid and a blue from ADC, and usually a blue from top, and then 2 sweepers, jungle and support, which will give you enough to counter any of their wards that your pinks aren't covering. Now, I did say this was about maintaining lane pressure, but that's the whole point of warding. So this whole video was supposed to tell you guys, if you understood it well, the recap for it is warding good spots. Always try to cover as many avenues as you can. So warding around the 2 big pits is a really good way to do that. Putting pinks in key locations, even though they could get killed pretty often, also offer up enough situational ideas. If they catch a person, that's at least 1 gank averted. So even if they sit there and take it, it's going to avert their ganking. And if it doesn't, you're going to be playing safe already, so they can't really gank you. So overall, warding's going to save you in this game, and it's going to give you better pressure. Thank you all for watching. I'm Cosney Calderin. All of you have a great day.